Now, staying in east of Africa with a young and vibrant population of less than a million, the economy of Comoros is experiencing a rebound. While most of its export proceeds are derived from agriculture, Comoros is benefiting from a favorable climate change, recording an economic growth rate of 1.9%. News Center's Adesewa Odusoga reports.
With an estimated population of 906,526 as of July 2022, Comoros is regarded as one of Africa's smallest economies. The country has a young and rapid population with a few natural resources. In 2019, more than 56% of the labor force was employed in agriculture, with 29% employed in industry and 14% in services. The island's agricultural sector is based on the export of spices. The top exports of Comoros are recreational boats, essential oils, vanilla and scrap vessels. The country exports most of its resources to India, Greece, France, Germany and Turkey. Economic activity of Comoros saw an improvement in 2021 with GDP growth of 1.9%, up from 0.2% in 2020. On the supply side, it was supported by agriculture, which grew by 3.7% and which benefited from favorable weather conditions. As for demand, it was driven by external demand. Exports grew by 19.5% in 2021 after a crash of 52.4% in 2020. The central bank continued its expansionary monetary policy in 2021 by maintaining the reserve requirement rate, which it had lowered to 10% in March 2020. The country's public debt is estimated at 29.8% of GDP in 2021, but the risk of debt distress is high, mainly because of the large volume of non-concessional loans. The poverty rate is estimated at 39.8% in 2021 and little changed from 40.4% in 2020. The country's outlook is favorable, with average growth of 2.8% in 2022 to 2023, but remains fragile. Adesewa Odusoga reporting for News Central.
And Comoros' volatile political history includes some coups and attempted coups. Though recent presidential and legislative elections have been reasonably well administered, systemic corruption and poverty remain problems. As the country marks its independence, News Central's Niyi Omoniyi gives an account of the political history of the coast of the East African island.
In the 15th century, Arabs settled on what are known as the Comoros Islands. Comoros is an archipelago of 4 small Indian Ocean islands that lie between East Africa and the northwestern coast of Madagascar. The islands were ceded to the French in 1841 and became a French protectorate in 1886 before being formally adopted as colonial possessions in 1912. Comoros was then governed as part of Madagascar until 1947, when they became a separate French. Overseas territories' internal self-government was granted in 1961, although full independence was not achieved until 1975. The main reason was the position of Mayotte, one of the original Comoros island groups, which insisted on retaining its links with France. With Mayotte going its own way, Comoros joined the United Nations as the Federal Islamic. The Republic of the Comoros, comprising 3 islands, Grand Comore, Anjouan, and Moheli, declared themselves independent on July 6, 1975, with Ahmed Abdallah as the first president. A month after independence, he was overthrown. However, in 1978, with the assistance of French missionaries, Abdallah regained his position. Though his success was short-lived, he was assassinated the following year. This was only the beginning of Comoros' chronic instability. Comoros Islands have averaged a coup every 22 months, given the nickname Cloud Cuckoo Land. A confusing series of coup and counter-coups ensued for the next decade, many led by Bob Denard, a French soldier and missionary. Elections successfully took place in 1996, and the new government of Abdulkarim Turki came in. The new government was overthrown in a military coup led by Colonel Azali Assoumani in 1999, which was the country's 18th coup. During the next 2 years, the military government laid plans for a new constitution that would maintain the group as a single country. The constitution established a rotating presidency and granted considerable autonomy to the Comorian islands, each of which gained its own basic law, flag, and executive branch of government. A power-sharing agreement signed in December 2003 gave the individual islands largely self-governed status and led to elections for a National Assembly in 2004. In 2006, Ahmed Abdullah Sambi, an Islamic religious leader, was elected federal president. On 23 December 2001, Asomani's new proposed constitution was adopted by referendum. The African Union sent troops to Anjouan in May 2007 ahead of June elections, which were held despite an order against them by the central government. The country's second round of presidential election in December 2010 saw Ikelilo Donai win. Absent from the political scene since 2006, Azali Assoumani returned and won the 2016 presidential elections.
Président de l'Union des Comores, le candidat Monsieur Azali Assoumani.
His government introduced a series of fiscal and structural reforms, including a review and overhaul of the presidential rotating system among the islands. During his tenure, the opposition accused Assoumani of having amended the constitution to remain in power until 2029. In addition, his closing of the Constitutional Court and Anti-Corruption Court caused the European Union to suspend all cooperation with Comoros in protest. On 13 February 2019, Assoumani resigned from the presidency to campaign for re-election in the 2019 Comorian presidential election on 24th of March. President Assoumani's mandate was renewed in 2019 for a new term of 5 years. The future of Comoros is clouded by uncertainty. The economy is totally dependent on agriculture and tourism for the foreign exchange that it requires to import, manufacture, and fuels. With political stability, perhaps secured by a return to French rule, there is little doubt that foreign investment in tourism would expand and the islands would progress towards the level of income enjoyed by their French-ruled neighbors in the Indian Ocean Mayotte. The most likely outcome, however, is that there will be some reconciliation between the other islands and Comoros might continue to stagnate. Niyi, Omoniyi, reporting for News Central.